Climate change represents the single biggest threat to the survival of small island developing states. Some of us are in danger of having to move from our islands. This would mean giving up our homes, our cultures, and our livelihoods as the rising seas make them physically uninhabitable. Some of us are already feeling the negative impacts of the rising seas taking over our lands. Others will find it increasingly difficult to continue socio-economic activities as sea levels rise, and increasingly stronger tropical cyclones destroy our homes, our infrastructure, and our fortunes. The security and integrity of our territories as well as our development agenda are under threat. The predicament with the sad reality is that we are not the ones that have caused these problems, and we do not have the means to address them on our own. Together, we produce only half of 1% of global greenhouse gas emissions. In addition, due to our small size, we lack the scale of the human, financial, and technological capacity required to respond to these enormous challenges. We need the full support of the international community. We are very concerned about the slow pace of the Copenhagen negotiations. We have only 3 weeks of face-to-face negotiations left before Copenhagen. If there is no substantial and accelerated progress in Bangkok, then there is a major risk of failure in Copenhagen. Let us be frank and clear about this. Success at Copenhagen with an ambitious and far-reaching agreement is critical to our survival as small island developing states. We therefore call upon the international community to ensure that together we achieve at least 4 outcomes. Firstly, to agree to ambitious global emission reduction targets that will ensure greenhouse gases emissions peak by 2015. That will put us well on the path to long-term temperature increases well below 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by the year 2100. This would result in greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere stabilizing at well below 350 ppmv as fast as possible. This is both technically and economically feasible and will not result in economic hardships as some have been stating. Secondly, to agree on the provision of substantial additional stable and predictable financing each year for adaptation, technology transfer, and capacity building in small island developing states. This is a priority. We need to agree that these monies should be managed by a new financial mechanism under the authority of the UNFCCC Conference of Parties. Thirdly, to agree on measures to address and to compensate for risk and losses resulting from climate change impacts to which small island states cannot adapt. And fourthly, to agree that the legally binding multilateral framework of the UNFCCC and its Kyoto Protocol is maintained, built upon, and enhanced to ensure that all countries participate on a fair and comparable basis. These are the bare minimum requirements for a successful outcome in Copenhagen that will start to guarantee the survival of small island developing states. Far from being a threat, the deep emission reduction targets that we are calling for will provide a secure basis for building a world of low carbon prosperity, safe from the risk of catastrophic climate changes and sea level rise, and bring security and benefits to the entire global community. We therefore invite the community of nations to join us in this effort to ensure that at Copenhagen we save all of us and ensure that no island is left behind.